Hello friends, welcome. This video's about what is it to be spiritual? What is spirituality? Well, spirituality, we are spirits, so the only thing that animates this physical life is the fact we're spirits. It's the spirit is the real life within us. So you could say spirituality is in all walks of life to some extent, like, many other things. So, yeah. But, you don't have to be holy to be spiritual. You don't have to be religious to be spiritual. So, yeah, you can be many things. But spirituality is a way of life and a lifestyle choice. When you understand this is the first plane of existence where we get form, intelligence, because that's what our physical life gives our spirit. It's just a spark of spirit that comes into us and it grows with us and takes on our form. So when we come out of body at whatever age, we look like that, even though we rejuvenate to a younger age in the spirit realm. And any faults with us or disabilities or, things wrong with us, Father God puts to rights, I believe, when we cross over. So if you had a missing arm, you'd have it back. So it's wonderful, whatever's wrong with you be put to rights and you'll be perfect in the spirit realm, whole. That doesn't mean your mind will be perfect because you'll still be exactly the same person as you were down here. And, if you've got problems, mental health problems, you may well have them still in the spirit realm. So we've got to try and navigate our way out of these. But really, this world's just the big first plane of life. So it's plane one, that Father God calls it. And plane two is the continuation of life. And when we die, we cross over through a portal of light that brightens in front of us. Our loved ones and guides come through it and they help us to cross over. But if we wish to stay here for a time before we cross over, we can. And the odd person stays here and becomes earthbound because of some tragic situation they went through, maybe, or that they fear being judged when they go over. And there is no judgment of anybody because hell doesn't exist. There's no judgment of anybody going into the spirit realm. They're allowed to pass freely. Anyway, we're getting off topic. So spirituality, is about life choices, but it is life about evolution. So not just here on this plane, the next plane is the same as this plane, basically, that everybody's about the same. And then plane 3 is that little bit more evolved up to plane 10 where people have got to, the highest plane they've got to, but there's actually 12 planes and God lives on plane 12. So, yeah, it lives on plane 12. So maybe one day in an infinitely long time we'll get to plane 12. So it's evolution, planes of evolution. And my past life mark, because my website's mark-neil.com. mark-neil.com. Sorry, it took me a bit to get that out. My past life will take over that channel if he's ever awoken down here to me. If I get free, I'll be able to go through and get awoken and come back here and teach. So he'll take over that channel and I'll move that one to another website, subdomain or whatever. Come and have a look at my website. Links are in the video description and also on my channel page, the website link. Because I've got a lot of articles there and they go a bit more into depth, some of them. So this has got one too, an article on the site. Spirituality, it's a lifestyle choice. Now, really part of that's about being a good person with good standards, conscientious, all these things. That's spirituality part of it. That's part of evolution, about making mistakes sometimes, and sometimes very bad ones, but it's about self-betterment life. That's what we're meant to glean and understand. What is life really about? What's the true purpose of this world? What's the true purpose of life? If you believe there may be an afterlife, then you've got a purpose here, haven't you? And it is to understand you may be a spiritual being and that you can keep developing to be a good person and overcoming many obstacles in life. And yeah, we all fall down, and it's a mountain to climb to be good, isn't it? Because it's hard work being good. And yet being negative, sour or bitter at life, or negative to other people and such, like, so easy. It's easy to fall down, and it's easy to become that way. But you've got to pick yourself up and keep trying to, better yourself, and, make a change that life can become more positive for you. And like attracts like. If you're negative and dark, you're darkening yourself in some way through being sour and bitter at life, that you will attract that to yourself. Law of attraction. So you become good. It doesn't mean bad things won't happen to you, but it means the law of attraction is more positive towards you, and so it's beneficial, highly beneficial to be good. But it is hard work being good, because you have to maintain high standards of the way you conduct yourself, the way you treat others, and not just other people, all life on earth. It's about caring, being compassionate, being loving and kind to the world and all others upon it, and looking after it for future generations, because that is our responsibility. And governments are doing a very, very bad job of looking after this world, because they're still drilling for fossil fuels and such like, and they're destroying this world. So the only thing that can save this world now, and that's why the awakening is happening, and it's Father God's spiritual awakening of the earthly plane, is to connect the spirit realm with the earth, to give us a lot of good advice about changing. And it's about enlisting through the spiritual awakening the people's help and concern for the welfare of this world and all life on it, and the future of it, and future generations to come. Because in a few generations, mass extinction could be happening, because they've already predicted it will, and almost certainly it will, and could end up in a very bad situation, even a third world war, because the awakening was started because of the First and Second World Wars. So there could well be a third world war in the end, and people won't be fighting over greed or territory. They'll be fighting over food, because there'll be a lack of it, because global warming causes harsh weather conditions, droughts, floods, all sorts. Crops will fail or not grow at all, and it could become very bad indeed, and it's going to if we carry on the way we are. So it's about enlisting people power and the spirit realm encouraging us in those ways and giving us its wisdom and teachings and philosophy. And I've been to the Spiritualist Church a lot, and it's beautiful what they got to say when you get an inspired spirit guide from a reasonable, knowledgeable level, many different cultures and past times they come from, and they give some beautiful talks, and they don't influence people too much. They're just guides, you see. They guide you on the way to a better understandings for you to investigate yourself as well. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing a spiritual awakening would be for this world, and it could help people power. And that's really what it's about. And you can search people power on my search at the top of my site, if you haven't seen it, about my video about people power saving this world. Because, an awakening can do that. It can make the people say, we've got to do something about this world. We've got to help it, because they become more caring through spirituality. And that's spirituality, and the way you live your life and all the different things in it. So, it's about people power saving the world, and by protesting and standing up to governments to change and go green, and not pollute. So we've got to get rid of all the pollution. We've got to get rid of all the global warming. We've got to protect the world, because it's precious and it's God's world, and he cares very much about it and us, and he doesn't want to see it come to an end and mass extinction happen here. So not every life on this planet will die, and it may evolve again into having other life forms, but I doubt there'll be any humans left here, and many other species will be extinct. We've got to look after it. And, Father God really created this world for abundancy of life, but also his children. And because we're the most intelligent species here, we have the ability to look after it or destroy it, and we're busily destroying it at the moment. And that's why the natural laws don't allow for humanoids on any world. And there's 200 God's created on. It doesn't allow for it on any world, because they're too advanced, they're too intelligent, they could end up destroying and causing imbalances amongst all life on that planet. So it doesn't allow for them. So what Father God did was let put things right so life would come into existence, evolve to what it has done, and then at some point when there are other primates here, he's created primates here that had the genetic capability of becoming humans. So Homo sapiens. So it's wonderful what he's done. Anyway, friends, have a look at the website. Loads of articles on there. The videos sometimes are in a player at the top, but there is an article underneath. So have a good look at it and, have a look round. And, it's quite amazing. And I speak about my possession and, being compromised to do photography I did want to do with new models and all sorts of things. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, friends, for now. Talk to you soon. Love and light. Neil.